An Arab man is to appeal his conviction of rape by deception in Israel after having consensual sex with a woman who thought he was a fellow Jew. Sabar Kishore, who denies pretending to be Jewish, was sentenced to 18 months in jail. But as RT's Paulus Leo reports, even couples who knowingly choose to enter into an interfaith relationship are ostracized.
This Jewish Jerusalem suburb is surrounded by Arab neighborhoods. And far from cultivating a culture of tolerance, vigilante-style Jewish patrol groups, calling themselves Fire for Judaism, stand watch outside the local shopping mall. Their mission? To prevent Arab men mixing with local Jewish girls. The municipality has created a 24-hour hotline where parents and friends can phone to rat on Jewish girls breaking this taboo. A specially trained team of counselors and psychologists is on standby to rescue them.
It's important to safeguard our traditions, culture, history and identity, because without this, who are we? From my experience, I can say that the chances for a healthy relationship between an Israeli Jewish woman and an Arab man are very, very low. It's because of the great differences between these two cultures.
The most recent case involves an Arab man who posed as a Jewish bachelor. A Jewish woman agreed to have sex with him. But after she found out he was an Arab and not a Jew, she filed a police complaint.
The courts took the case so seriously that he's now being convicted of rape by deception and sentenced to 18 months in prison. The judge said he had an obligation to protect the public from sophisticated criminals who could lure innocent victims.
But reactions to the verdict differ.
I think the idea, if the women want to do it, it's do it. No, they're no different. It's Arabic or no Arabic or something like this.
Usually Jewish girls don't go with Arab guys, unless it's a choice, you know. So there should be a choice. He didn't leave her the choice, but prison is too much, I think.
This is the way that this conflict is ruining our personal lives, that we cannot have relationships, that we cannot be just human beings.
Arabs make up a fifth of Israel's population, but relationships between Arabs and Jews are rare. Former Palestinian minister Ziad Abu Zayed says fights break out almost weekly in nightclubs and other public places over the issue. It's not religion, he says, it's racism.
There are Jewish gangs which are against any relations between Jewish girls and non-Jewish men. And they keep hunting Jewish girls, even those who can go out to a pub or to a restaurant or anywhere with an Arab guys, and threaten them and force them to break their relations with Arab guys.
In the 2 years Rami Rahib and Kelly Bentata have been together, they've never been physically threatened. He's Muslim, she's Jewish. But they're now thinking about leaving Israel because they say it's simply too difficult on other levels.
When my family found out, they were very adamant about cutting me off on every level for acting as a traitor to everybody and for being in Israel and making that choice.
Right now, Israeli parliamentarians are considering a law that will require prospective Israeli citizens to declare loyalty to Israel as a Jewish democratic state. Arab Israelis are furious. Most refuse to swear allegiance to a state they believe explicitly excludes and marginalizes them. Paulus Leo, RT, Jaffa.